Hi, all. Welcome, everyone. We're so excited to have you here for this feature screening as part of the 2026 Zero Waste Feature Marathon for the International Zero Waste Month. At this hour, GAIA US and Canada is taking over, bringing you stories of communities taking action, creating change, and proving that zero waste isn't just a dream, it's happening right now. The film we're about to watch, This is Zero Waste, cross-continental collaboration, Detroit, USA, and Manila, Philippines on composting, was produced in 2023 and launched in 2024. It's a celebration of community power, creativity, and collaboration, showing how two very different cities on opposite sides of the world are working together to tackle waste. This short film is not just about a community pushing back against a waste incinerator. It is about transforming neighborhoods, empowering people, and proving that solutions often come from the communities who feel the problem most. So let's get ready to be inspired. And with that, let's start the film.
One time I was about to go to one of my early classes. Then suddenly a typhoon came in, the signal number 1 typhoon came in. After looking at the window from our building, the school is flooded, not just by water, but also with plastic waste.
The problem is caused by companies, by multinationals, conglomerates in the global north. But the waste problem is transferred here to the global south. And they are saying that we are the third biggest polluter of plastic pollution, but it's not true because those people buying their products have no choice. When they go to the supermarkets, it's all there in sachets and this problematic packaging.
Before the incinerator came to our neighborhood, it was full of houses and bars and bakeries and shops and schools. From the time the incinerator came in, it burned people out of our community. Families left because of the odors and because of the toxins in our air.
Zero waste really transforms communities.
Two of our partner communities, or cities rather, is in Malabon and Nabotas cities, which is two of the cities here in Metro Manila. We've managed to successfully create models and working systems around those communities.
We visited some sites that were toxic sites at first. And so to see how toxic sites can go from being toxic to being beautiful, we saw that.
I really appreciate the waste workers, their attitudes. They're always happy. And we treat them like family. Without them, the zero waste program will not work.
To simply put, just try to imagine zero waste is not just a lifestyle, but a way of life of people.
It's so important to learn from the global south how to manage our waste, because in the United States, we are creating a ridiculous amount of waste, and the problems with plastic are coming from the United States companies. And it's to the point where these companies and these countries shouldn't be the one creating the solutions, because we've created so many problems, that we should be looking to you guys and other folks that are already creating these solutions to the problems that we brought.
We hope that these companies or groups who are offering false solutions to the LGUs would realize how much damage they will create later on. We need to encourage them that zero waste is a long-term investment for us to have a circular and sustainable cities and communities to live in.
We are grateful with GAIA because it strengthened collaboration and solidarity by making us partners with the city in a developed country like the US. I think this partnership will show that we have the same problems, so we also create solutions. So whether you are in the global north or in the global south, the problem of waste is there.
So even though they're on the south and we're on the north, we're still on the same planet. Even though we're thousands of miles away, we still have the same issues, but we're still working towards the same goal.
We share one earth, one planet. We share one air, one water, and it all goes back to all of us.
We need to make sure that we keep pushing these best practices and that we learn from each other, because the solutions are coming from communities that are most affected. And we are the voices of our communities and are able to express those solutions together.
Just realized I was on mute. So just want to keep this energy going with the panel. And so I'll go ahead and introduce the panel that we have today. First, we have Katie Morelli, who you saw in the film, from Breathe Free Detroit, champion of community-led composting and zero waste initiatives in Detroit. And joining us from the Philippines, also in the film, Rap Villavicencio from the Mother Earth Foundation, who's been building local zero waste systems and transforming communities in Malabong and Navotas. I'll start us off with a few questions, but this is very much a shared conversation. Still can't hear? Hold on, I think I'm having tech issues.
We can hear you.
Okay, great. So I'll start us off with a few questions. And if you have any questions, or please drop them in the comments. So for KT, watching this film and seeing how communities in Manila are handling waste, what gave you the biggest wow moment? And was there a particular moment where you thought, right, we need to steal this idea for Detroit?
Yeah, hi, and good morning and good evening across the world. So this little film was so beautiful. I'm so glad to be able to watch it again, or to see it that time again. And the Mother Earth Foundation is a global leader And one of the best examples of community-led, multi-scale, decentralized composting that works in major cities and also small towns on all scales. It's where we aspire one day to be for Detroit. And so a lot of what we learned when we were there, and also working with the Mother Earth Foundation for so many years before we visited, we have brought here to the city, and we are putting it into implementation and practice.
That's great. And before we move on, I just want to pause here. If anyone in the audience has any questions about composting or community organizing in Detroit, please pop them in the comments now. KT's overseeing a process now in Detroit, and so if you want to be plugged in. Rap, you're deeply embedded in the communities we see in the film. When people first get involved in zero waste, what's the energy like on the ground? And are there any moments that really made you smile or surprised you? Okay, I think we're having tech issues this morning. So while we wait for Rap, let me just turn it over to KT. Every movement has bumps in the road, and along the road, what's one unexpected challenge or maybe even a slightly hilarious moment that you've had while getting people on board with zero waste in Detroit?
Yeah, so these zero waste strategies are part of like our world's future foundation for climate justice and soil regeneration and healing our waters and healing our communities. And just to have people really understand that from a basic level of what you're doing in your home can make a big difference was kind of a wow moment for us in our trainings and in our teachings, but also to bring that to policymakers. And so in recent trainings, we started teaching composting as a way to quietly protest and stand for climate solutions in your home. So if you are not able to join the protests in the street that every day for whatever injustice happening in the world at this time, the simple act of composting food waste in your home is another way to stand up against that injustice and protect our climate. And that was just one of the unexpected things that came out, and the challenges that we face and how it's all connected.
Thanks for that perspective. Is Rap back?
It reads that Rap is in the stream with audio only, so hopefully we can hear him soon. Rap, can you test your audio? Maybe he's having difficult connection issues.
Okay. Okay, so while we wait for Rap, maybe we can talk a little bit about what's going on in Detroit now. I'm going a little bit off script, but I actually was in the Philippines when that film was produced, and it was my first time seeing zero waste systems up close. I actually had just started at GAIA, and it was like really great to see that. And I got to meet you in Detroit as well. Like I saw you over there, and I saw you in Detroit. And so did the folks from the Mother Earth Foundation. And when that happened, the incinerator was just coming down, and you all were doing a pilot program that was informed by the Mother Earth Foundation. A lot of these practices that you learned on that trip, you brought and from months and years of consulting, are now being implemented in Detroit. Can you talk a little bit about like the pilot program and like now where that is with the city? Because I saw that the city invested $100,000 towards this program to scale it citywide.
Yeah, so this pilot program happened like through COVID, and we, it was beautiful because it was a chance for us to really do connect in the only ways that we could during that global shutdown. And in that opportunity, we learned the phrase decentralized multi-scale composting and how important it is and how it's even possible to do that in large scale cities, on a large scale way within cities. And then learning of all of the steps and the methodology, and all of the things that the Mother Earth has gone through, from the challenges to how they've corrected those challenges, to working with the waste workers, and how to just include everybody in the process. And so in that, we took that to Detroit, and that pilot was the first pilot for composting in that type of way, in the city. After the pilot ended, one of the things that I remember that I was super proud of, is that the city started their own pilot program, and they had a call out for people to lead their pilot program. And in the call that they had, the RFP from the city, it stated decentralized multi-scale composting. So they had adopted that from this pilot, that we had adopted from the Philippines. So it's a direct connection there that the city is really taking the lead on. Now, the city of Detroit already has a lot of these types of very unique spaces, like urban farms, and community gardens throughout the city. And so we're set up in a way that this system can be adopted, but just knowing that it already is successful, and doing so well, and even able to do better than large scale composting in major cities, is a way for us to say, look, it'll work. These ideas that we all have had for so long, it is working, and we can look to them as an example to really prove to policymakers that it's not a waste of time or money, that it's actually the best investment we can make.
I love that. And Rap and Sonia came to the Detroit the City Council Green Task Force, and they did a presentation on decentralized composting systems in the Philippines. And I really believe just everything that you all are doing definitely informed that practice. And it looks like we have Rap back. Hi.
Hey, hi, Katie, hi, Maria. Apologies for the technical issues.
No worries. I was having them too. This is my first time using this platform, so no worries at all. I did want to go back to the question that I asked you about. I know that you're deeply embedded in the communities that we're seeing in the films on the ground. When people first get involved in zero waste, what's the energy like? And are there any moments that made you smile or surprised you?
Right, right. I think we've taken for granted the knowledge and awareness of the people in the community in terms of these kind of issues like the plastic pollution. So when we first came to them, they've asked us, is this another training or awareness campaign on waste management? And how is this different with other groups or organizations doing this kind of work? So we've said we understand, we recognize that you're frustrated. There's a lot of things already happened, but nothing concrete output or results happening in the community. So this is we've told them this is more of a assessment and co-creation of plans and solutions with the community, with you guys. It's not us directing or instructing you what to do, how to do it, etc. So, to simply put, people are really aware with what's happening in their community, and they know plastic is a big problem, especially to their health, to their community, and how it affects their daily lives. Now, after providing more context and um, sh- telling them that it's not the same thing. It's like this is the zero waste approach. This is how we do it with other communities. It's a collaboration. It's not an instructional or a transactional partnership. It's how we do it as a collective group. How do we move forward as a community, as a movement, and how do we maximize those experiences of yours and the available tools and knowledge that we can use for us to address the plastic pollution at the community level. So we've started with baseline assessment. What are the things that we can do or leverage from existing information or existing resources that we currently have? And then we're really happy that when they realize that, okay, this might be an opportunity for us to really, take another shot and once and for all let's work together and address this waste problem. So they've been engaged and they gave positive energy to really participate and patiently support the waste segregation at source, composting, avoidance of using plastics, etc. And until such time that they were like really demanding support, not just from NGOs, but most importantly with the government offices and with other groups to really collaborate and support long-term solutions like zero waste.
That's great. And on the subject of plastics, and that the film touches a little bit about the issues that the global north is basically causing for the global south. Much of the waste being produced is largely produced in the global north and felt mostly in the global south. So, how do you take these huge global issues? This question is for Rep, and translate them into practical local solutions that communities can actually act on? I know you touched a little bit about it in the film.
Right. Thanks for that question, Maria. Uh, we look at it as both a challenge and opportunity. Challenge, of course, because this is waste coming from different countries, different region, and at the moment we're trying to deal with our waste, current waste generation. So, as you can imagine, there will be added waste coming from other outside the country. But we've seen that this is also an opportunity for us to show that culturally, uh, countries and communities like here in the Philippines, we know that Filipinos are living in a sustainable way for the longest time from our ancestors, from the indigenous groups. We've been using sustainable materials until the plastic era came in. So this is also a call to action to our national government to like be more strict and enforce national and international policies in terms of accepting waste and garbage outside and really focus on how we can reduce and redesign those problematic materials like single-use plastics. And in terms of opportunities, we've been showcasing and we've seen that zero waste, investing in zero waste, and implementing collaborative programs and solutions together with the different key stakeholders is really possible. And we've seen it in Malabon, in Abotas, in other zero waste cities that if we manage to address this backed by strong policy implementation, political will, and of course support by the national government, it's all possible to really implement and reduce our waste as much as 90%. But the next challenge for us is how do we like really address the root cause of plastic solution coming from the global north, coming from the multi national companies that keeps generating a lot of single-use plastics, problematic products that impact communities like here in the Philippines.
Yeah, that's great. That was the first time when I was in Secor hearing that they had a 99% like waste diversion rate, which is would be unheard of here in the US. But um, thank you for sharing that. What's one misconception about zero waste that you both love busting? Something that makes people say, wait, really?
I guess I'll go first. I think one of the things in terms of composting waste is that when we compost waste in our house, it's going to reduce the majority of the waste that's in your garbage can that's going anywhere. And so that's something that we can do at home. Um, Also, that our communities hold the solutions to the problems of not just food waste, but plastic waste as well. Communities that are facing incineration are composting and recycling and reducing plastic use as an act of resistance because they know that whatever they end up putting in their garbage is going to end up being breathed back in their homes and within their communities. So it's so important that in developing better systems for waste management, that we're listening to the communities that are most affected, the ones that are receiving the trash from other places, and the ones that are living next to these bad waste management spaces, because our communities are the ones that are practicing the solutions first out of a necessity. So that's probably the biggest thing that I've taken out. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Katie. On my side, I think uh, usually people thought zero waste is equals to no waste, and they also thought zero waste is expensive. But on the first point, zero waste will become no waste and not until we address the root cause of those problematic materials. Again, like single-use plastics, plastic packaging. So we really need to like develop long-term policies and long-term systems that would address these kind of concerns. At the moment, unfortunately, a lot of like a lot of materials in our cities and communities are linear because of these bad product design. But with the real zero waste approach, this will be eventually addressed because more products, more systems, more practices will be designed to be intentionally circular, sustainable, and for long-term use. Second is the zero waste being expensive. People thought um, zero waste programs is expensive and it will take a lot of time. But the reality is that if we're going to compute the actual implementation of zero waste versus false solutions like waste incinerator, it's way cheaper and economical and like really good investment because you can see you can generate green jobs. We can establish green infrastructure. And of course, that's just the front benefits. The major benefit is it will help us mitigate a lot of plastic pollution, lessen the impacts to our climate, and at the same time, it will make cities and communities healthier and cleaner, like the real healthy and clean cities and communities. So that's what we're trying to campaign here in the Philippines. Zero waste is a long-term solution, but it needs investment, it needs patience, it needs time, and it needs collaborative effort to make that happen. So hopefully more people, especially government officials, international groups would realize that if you want to have a long lasting systems and solutions, we need to invest these kind of resources and support to zero waste systems and policies.
Thank you so much for that, Rap. Any final thoughts? I mean, from the outside, I find this partnership and this collaboration so unique. I mean, Rap, you were there informing decision makers in Detroit, and even KT, you were there informing decision makers, I think, in Manila about waste incineration. And in the film, it talks about that there was an incinerator bill that was coming in Manila, in Metro Manila. So maybe if you can talk a little bit about the uniqueness of this partnership and how this has helped you with your current campaigns and where you're going from here.
I guess I'll go real quick. It's just, I mean, it comes up time and time again that our communities throughout the world that are facing incineration are suffering the same health effects everywhere. So when I'm bringing the health effects of the incinerator from Detroit that is now closed down, it still lives in my body, it's still in my blood, in my lungs, and bringing that to the fight that was happening in the Philippines, that probably still is, and letting community know there that it's it's the same, right? And so having a global community helping fight that is huge in that effort. Um, and it's the same for how we're all dealing with waste. We're in a world of overconsumption and mindlessness when it comes to understanding where it ends up. So working together on a global scale makes this fight ever more important, and understanding that we're all facing the same issues, yet having so many different types of solutions creates the biggest toolbox for us to be able to utilize in moving our communities and our cities forward.
Thanks, Katie. Rep, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I think we're really grateful to Gaia and to Great Free Detroit for having this wonderful partnership. We've learned a lot, like, and also realized that there are a lot of solutions out there, and there's also shared struggles, like what Katie mentioned. And I think most importantly, we've seen that incinerators, like the waste energy we've seen in Detroit, is like really hurting people in the community and our climate. And this is really helpful to our campaign here in the Philippines, as a lot of private companies and groups are trying to pitch these false solutions. But at the same time, we've seen different side of solutions in Detroit, like connecting to schools, to the neighborhoods, and showing that we, the people, also has the power as a collective to implement solutions and invite people from the government, from the different sector, that uh, we have these solutions. You can also invest or look for this kind of alternative. So yeah, um, yeah, to just to tell everyone that there's always this community, maybe the other side of the world, or like in our region, that will share the same struggle with us, but most importantly, share the same energy and commitment to address this kind of problems and work towards the zero waste city and communities.
Thank you so much for that, Rap. And thank you, KT, also for sharing your incredible insights. Thank you all for being a part of this conversation. Today's film shows us that zero waste isn't just a challenge, it's also an opportunity. And so does this conversation, an opportunity to transform communities, create connections across continents, and celebrate what's possible when people come together. And so let's take that energy with us, keep pushing for change. And remember, we share one planet, and every action counts. Enjoy the rest of the Zero Waste Feature Marathon and keep celebrating the amazing work happening all around the world. And don't forget, if you have any more questions today, feel free to email us. We love to keep the conversation going, and we're handing it back the next session to the GAIA Global team. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Claire Arkin, GAIA's Global Communications Lead. Wherever you're joining from, and whether you stay for the whole hour or just a part of it, thank you so much for joining us during this 24-hour zero waste marathon. And a special thank you to the GAIA Asia Pacific team for organizing this spectacular event. It is such a powerful thing to bring people together from all over the world for this closing event, and it really shows the power and scale of the zero waste movement made up of each and every one of you. Over the next hour, I'll introduce videos from around the world that show 5 clear reasons why investing in zero waste delivers results for people and planet. From jobs and economic benefits to healthier communities to climate action and community power, let's get started. Zero waste creates more jobs and stronger local livelihoods than waste burning or disposal ever could. When cities invest in zero waste, they invest in prevention, reuse, and recycling. They invest in people. Watch this animated video to learn more about how zero waste creates dignified local jobs rooted in reuse, recycling, and repair, while strengthening local economies and supporting waste pickers and informal workers.
People around the world are looking for solutions to rebuild local economies while protecting the environment and create more decent jobs. The good news is that such solutions exist, and one of them comes from what we call garbage. Have you heard of the movement for zero waste that's sweeping the world? Zero waste means stopping the waste before it starts. By promoting waste prevention, reuse, repair, recycling, and composting, zero waste strategies continue the circulation of valuable materials in the economy. This not only helps stop climate change, but also creates a ton of well-paying jobs. Want to know how? Studies show that just for one job in landfilling and incineration, instead we could create 30 more jobs by manufacturing new items out of recycled materials, 50 jobs from recycling itself, and when we choose to repair our stuff instead of throwing it away, we create over 200 more jobs. Jobs that pay higher wages, offer more permanent positions, provide people who handle waste with a dignified living, and improve quality of life. The bottom line is that the systems that create the most jobs also produce the least pollution. Let's stop throwing away the chance to create thousands of good jobs. It's time for our leaders to invest in solutions that work for us and our planet. To know more about zero waste strategies that can create more jobs in your community, check out GAIA's new report.
Zero waste is not only possible, it's already happening globally. Solutions are already working in cities and communities across Europe, Africa, Asia Pacific, Latin America, and the US and Canada. The next 4 videos will take us across 4 continents, showing inspiring examples of zero waste.
GAIA is a youth-led, gender-balanced, non-governmental organization that focuses on environmental sustainability and community development. We aim to engage in climate action by providing solutions and a platform for youth to be able to contribute to policies, whilst also enlightening communities on disaster risk reduction. In the Ashanti region, specifically Edubiasi, GAIA is able to collect 90% of organic waste from the households. Organic waste is very important to us because they serve as the major contributor of greenhouse gases when they are sent to landfills, which is the normal practice done by assembly officials. With this particular organic waste collected, we're able to convert them to products like compost, which farmers can utilize to produce organic crops. Working with officials within cities is very important because they serve as mouthpiece in their communities to be able to facilitate engagement. Additionally, through them, we'll be able to influence policies within local communities.
My motivation for working with zero waste strategies is that one, it gives us a cleaner environment. Two, it aids us in creating green jobs. And then the third one, it reduces pollution in the area of reduction in greenhouse gases effect on the environment.
There's the need for us to collaborate with the local organizations so that they can assist us to improve their conditions, especially sanitation in the municipalities.
We support organizations like GAIA working on a zero waste project by providing them the space to operate. We spearhead their door-to-door and community sensitization in the municipality and also provide them with the necessary data they need to operate. Collecting organic waste is important because it reduces the number of organic matter that decompose into the atmosphere and emanates offensive odor. It also serves as raw material for manure production and then fertilizer production for growing crops and mushroom.
I am passionate about zero waste within communities because it ensures that solutions are provided for waste management challenges. Additionally, communities are able to get alternative livelihoods and jobs, prioritizing waste pickers. And lastly, communities are safe, resilient, and sustainable.
They would have to encourage more collaboration on initiatives of this kind.
My advice for city officials across the globe is that we should all put our hands on the wheel in ensuring that the agenda of zero waste is pursued rigorously. That is the only way that we can help to fight against climate change.
ജൈവ മാലിന്യങ്ങളും അജൈവ മാലിന്യങ്ങളും സെപ്പറേറ്റ് തരംതിരിച്ച് പ്ലാസ്റ്റിക്കൊക്കെ ജൈവ മാലിന്യങ്ങൾ അടുക്കള വേസ്റ്റ് എല്ലാം ഈ കിച്ചൺ ബിന്ന് വഴി ഉപയോഗിക്കാറുണ്ട്. മറ്റ് പ്ലാസ്റ്റിക്കിൽ നിന്ന് മറ്റ് സാധനങ്ങളൊക്കെ
ഇന്നിപ്പോൾ ഞങ്ങൾ കാണുന്നത് തിരുവനന്തപുരം നഗരസഭ മാലിന്യ സംസ്കരണ പ്ലാന്റ് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്ന സമയത്തും ഇല്ലാതിരുന്ന സമയത്തും രണ്ട് നിലയിലും നഗരസഭ മുന്നോട്ട് പോയിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഓരോ കാലഘട്ടത്തിൻ്റെയും പ്രത്യേകതകൾ ഇന്ന് നഗരസഭ കൃത്യമായി മനസ്സിലാക്കിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഇപ്പോൾ ഞങ്ങളുടെ കണക്കനുസരിച്ച് 150 ടണ്ണിന് താഴേക്ക് നഗരസഭയുടെ ക്യാമ്പയിൻ പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങളിലൂടെ മാലിന്യത്തിൻ്റെ അളവ് കുറയ്ക്കാൻ നഗരസഭയ്ക്ക് സാധിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നു. അതിന് സഹായകരമായത് ഗ്രീൻ പ്രോട്ടോകോൾ നടപ്പാക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി നഗരസഭ പരിശ്രമിച്ചത്, പ്ലാസ്റ്റിക് നിരോധനം അടക്കമുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ, നഗരത്തിലെ ഗ്രീൻ ആർമിയുടെ പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങൾ, അങ്ങനെ നാനാവിധത്തിലുള്ള ക്യാമ്പയിൻ പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങളാണ് ഈ നിലയിൽ മാലിന്യം കുറയ്ക്കാൻ നഗരസഭയെ പര്യാപ്തമാക്കിയത്.
ഈ വീട്ടിലെ മാലിന്യങ്ങൾ കിച്ചൺ വേസ്റ്റും അതേപോലെ ടോയ്ലറ്റ് വേസ്റ്റും രണ്ടും ബയോഗ്യാസിലേക്കാണ് വിടുന്നത്. ആ ബയോഗ്യാസിൽ നിന്ന് നമുക്ക് അതിൽ നിന്നാണ് ഈ സ്റ്റൗ ആക്കി. ഇതുപോലെയുള്ള ആസിഡിക് ആയിട്ടുള്ള സാധനങ്ങൾ ബയോഗ്യാസിലേക്ക് വിടാറില്ല. ബാക്കിയുള്ള എല്ലാത്തരം വേസ്റ്റുകളും ബയോഗ്യാസിലേക്കാണ് വിടുന്നത്. സോ ബയോഗ്യാസിലേക്ക് കൊണ്ടിടുന്ന ഒരു ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടുക മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളൂ. അതൊരു ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടാണെങ്കിൽ അതിനകത്ത് രണ്ട് കാര്യങ്ങളാണ്. ഒന്നാമത് വേസ്റ്റ് ഡിസ്പോസൽ ഏറ്റവും എഫക്റ്റീവായിട്ടും ഏറ്റവും എൻവിറോൺമെൻറ്റ് ഫ്രണ്ട്ലി ആയിട്ടും ചെയ്യണമെന്നൊരു കാര്യത്തിലാണ് ബയോഗ്യാസ് വന്നത്.
തിരുവനന്തപുരം നഗരത്തെ ഈ നിലയിൽ മാലിന്യ സംസ്കരണ പ്ലാന്റുകളുള്ള നഗരങ്ങളെക്കാൾ മെച്ചപ്പെട്ട സ്ഥിതിയിലേക്ക് എത്തിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി സാധിച്ചു. അത് ചെറിയൊരു കാര്യമല്ല. ഇത്രയും വലിയൊരു നഗരം, 33 ലക്ഷം ഫ്ലോട്ടിംഗ് പോപ്പുലേഷനുള്ള ഒരു നഗരം, 215 സ്ക്വയർ കിലോമീറ്ററുള്ള ഒരു വലിയ നഗരം. നഗരസഭാ ഭരണസമിതി പ്രധാനമായും ലക്ഷ്യം വെച്ചൊരു കാര്യം ഈ കാര്യത്തിൽ ഒരു സമവായം ഉണ്ടാക്കുക എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. അപ്പോൾ അതിന് രാഷ്ട്രീയ പാർട്ടികളുടെ യോഗം വിളിച്ചു. വ്യത്യസ്ത മേഖലകളിൽ ഇപ്പോൾ ഹോട്ടൽ മാനേജ്മെൻറ്റ് അസോസിയേഷൻ അവരുടെ യോഗം വിളിച്ചു. അപ്പോൾ ഇത് 100% എന്ന് പറയുന്ന അർത്ഥത്തിലേക്ക് പോകണമെങ്കിൽ ഇനിയും നമുക്ക് ഒരുപാട് കാലങ്ങൾ മുന്നോട്ട് പോകേണ്ടതായിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ 100% എത്തിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി കഴിയുന്ന നിലയിലേക്ക് നഗരസഭയിൽ പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങൾ മുന്നോട്ട് കൊണ്ടുപോവുകയാണ്. അതിന് ഒരു വലിയ രാഷ്ട്രീയ ഇച്ഛാശക്തിയും നമ്മൾ പുലർത്തുന്നുണ്ട്. എല്ലാ രാഷ്ട്രീയക്കാരുടെയും അതിനെ യോജിപ്പിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി ശ്രമിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. അതിൻ്റെയൊക്കെ ഭാഗമായിട്ടാണ് ഇപ്പോൾ ഗവൺമെൻറ് തന്നെ ഫ്ലെക്സ് അടക്കമുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ നിരോധിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി തയ്യാറാവുകയാണ്. അപ്പോൾ അത് സമൂഹത്തിൽ വളർന്നു വരുന്ന ഇത്തരം കാര്യങ്ങളോടുള്ള മനോഭാവത്തിലുണ്ടാകുന്ന മാറ്റമാണ് സൂചിപ്പിക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ അതിന് ക്രിയാത്മകമായ നേതൃത്വം കൊടുക്കാൻ തിരുവനന്തപുരം നഗരസഭയ്ക്ക് സാധിച്ചു എന്നുള്ളതാണ്.
$35 to 40% of the waste that we generate in our households and businesses every day is organic waste. That's food waste or yard waste. When you put organic waste in a landfill, it creates methane. Methane is 84% more powerful than carbon dioxide as a greenhouse gas. Meanwhile, our soils are depleted of nutrients. Our food is depleted of nutrients. We're not completing that loop that we need to get organic waste back in the soil. So what we're doing in the organic realm is we're trying to create local compost solutions that work on a community scale to build our soil locally and create a more sustainable food system.
The Vortex is a nonprofit theater company here in Austin, Texas. It is a vibrant theater, bar, food truck. For a venue like this, we're obviously generating a lot of compost and food waste. The city of Austin supported our zero waste efforts. They basically kickstarted our composting. Composting has its own set of startup costs, especially that were prohibitive to an organization at our size. The problem here is that we are doing meat and dairy. We need industrial composting, which is somewhat pricey. And the city of Austin offered zero waste rebates. We were able to set up with Texas Disposal Systems, our composting system. We use that startup fund basically to get us going. And once we got ourselves going, it was easy to keep it up.
It's really critical to have businesses engage in those zero waste practices because they can make the largest impact on waste reduction. They really do have the most capability to do that as well. They can put resources and budgets toward waste reduction. And whenever you reduce waste, because you have implemented either a recycling program or a composting program, you've done your refuse, reduce, reuse, repair, remanufacturing, all of those re's in between, you have been able to really find the highest and best use of the materials within your business.
Breathe Free Detroit is a campaign that was started to shut down the Detroit incinerator. It was started with many different community groups, grassroots groups, environmental justice groups from throughout the city. And in 2019, we were successful in shutting down the incinerator. It is a major milestone for our campaign as we were fighting for this facility to shut down for 33 years. Now that it's shut down, we are working on a just transition for the residents, making sure that folks have a strong community voice for what's next here in this neighborhood, and also a just transition for our waste.
I think each city should have a zero waste program so that people can learn in each community that composting is very good for each community. I want to play my part in society as well, and I do believe in zero waste.
La motivación del municipio fue disminuir el traslado de residuos a relleno sanitario. También una motivación fue enseñar a la gente educación ambiental para que pudieran separar sus residuos en sus casas y el municipio poder trasladarlo a la planta y tratarlos. Y también fue el disminuir los gases de efecto invernadero que estaban provocando también y están provocando el calentamiento global y el cambio climático.
La estrategia Basura Cero ha permitido a los vecinos de Santa Juana vivir en un entorno más limpio.
Yo pienso que el beneficio para la comuna fue muy grande,
Por una parte, porque no se juntó mucha basura común que los camiones tenían que... Porque donde lo van a dejar tiene que ser un espacio donde se puede echar toda esa basura, que no contamine al pueblo. Y para el municipio yo creo que fue una gran ayuda para todo. Para nosotros aquí en la casa, para el municipio y para todo el pueblo. El que sepa juntar como deben ser las cosas va a ser estupendo para todos. Y un beneficio maravilloso.
Desde la Alianza, algo que consideramos muy valioso de esta experiencia es la voluntad política y la decisión con la que se ha implementado este programa. La implementación de Basura Cero en Santa Juana está mejorando la calidad de vida de las personas a través de la protección de la naturaleza.
Yo lo hago esto porque me sirve mucho a mí y para poder enseñar a los que están alrededor mío. Esto me sirve para abonar mi tierra y poder comer productos limpios de mi casa.
Bueno, a futuro queremos que toda la comunidad de Santa Juana participe en esta iniciativa por la importancia que tiene a nivel nacional. Queremos reencantar a la comunidad de Santa Juana, a la que estaba, que siga participando, y a la que no estaba, que se sume a la iniciativa.
Le recomendaría a los tomadores de decisión que sean valientes y den estos pasos decisivos.
Los animo a replicar el modelo de Santa Juana en sus comunas.
The Zero Waste Cities program is run by Zero Waste Europe, and today we work with nearly 500 municipalities all across Europe who are committed to developing and implementing zero waste strategies at the local level. We do this via our network of Zero Waste Europe members all across Europe, who we train, support and guide to do the day-to-day work of their municipalities to be the experts in local level implementation. In March 2021, together with our sister organisation, the Mission Zero Academy, we launched the world's first Zero Waste City certification.
The Zero Waste City certification accelerates the implementation of zero waste strategies in municipalities by providing an actionable, guided and structured way for municipalities to transform the way that they see their waste and resources. We are honored to be here in Capannori today to certify them as the first Italian zero waste city. Capannori started the movement of zero waste cities 15 years ago, and ever since they have inspired hundreds of cities across the continent to follow their lead and transform the way that they see their waste management.
Zero Waste Europe is based in Brussels, and from here we help coordinate and harmonise the work that is done across Europe, whilst modelling and showcasing best practices of how zero waste strategies can be best implemented in a diverse range of contexts across the continent.
I'm coordinating Zero Waste City activities in Ukraine, and also Lviv pledged to become the first Zero Waste City outside of EU. And we are working closely with our government, with businesses, with citizens to become a Zero Waste showcase for Ukraine.
My advice to city officials across Europe is, don't be afraid, start now.
Look into waste with a different perspective, trying to bring the whole community along with them in considering waste as a resource rather as something we just landfill or incinerate or throw away and never think of again.
It's the only way we as a humanity can have a future.
Zero waste protects community health and cuts climate pollution by moving away from harmful disposal techno-fixes and false solutions like incineration. In this documentary, we amplify the voices of local communities in 3 cities from Indonesia, the Philippines, and Nigeria who are impacted by waste-burning facilities.
Communities around the world have long suffered from waste incinerators in their neighborhoods. Big corporations call some of them waste to energy, pyrolysis, chemical, or advanced recycling, or even tire recycling. But for the people who live nearby, they are just towers of toxic smoke. National leaders look the other way. Local governments stay quiet. And for too long, monitoring and emissions testing have been limited. But in late 2024 and 2025, concerned community members near incinerators in 3 different parts of the world took matters into their own hands. Monitors measured 2 types of particulate matter, PM 2.5 and PM 10. Particulate matter are tiny particles of air pollution unseen to the naked eye. When people breathe them in, they can penetrate deep into the lungs and bloodstream. Particulate matter can damage the heart, lungs, and other organs, and can increase risk for asthma, bronchitis, cancers, and many other illnesses. Pregnant women, children, and the elderly are especially vulnerable to the effects of particulate matter. Dumaguete City in the Philippines has long been a hub for education, tourism, and culture. It hosts several universities and colleges and is known for its beautiful waterfront. Unfortunately, in 2021, the city welcomed a pyrolysis gasification plant with no known safeguards. The plant takes waste from the nearby Materials Recovery Facility, or MRF, where waste goes once it's been collected from households. Pyrolysis gasification burns waste, turning it into toxic ash and gas. The threat is hidden behind tall walls. Most people didn't even know this machine was operating until a concerned citizen took this video of smoke spewing out of the chimney. A local environmental group, War on Waste Negros Oriental, organized 17 community volunteers to wear portable air monitors to track what they breathed in as they went about their daily outdoor work. Surabaya is the capital city of the East Java province of Indonesia and is the 2nd largest city in the country. It's historically been a port city, making it home to a variety of cultures across the region and the world. In recent years, the city has experienced rapid industrialization, and with it, pollution. The Benowo Waste-to-Energy plant, the first of its kind in Indonesia, processes 1,000 tons of waste per day and generates 12 megawatts of electricity. Yet, up to 70% of the byproducts are fly ash and bottom ash, hazardous toxic waste that produce dioxins, compounds known to trigger cancer. Since the plant began operating in 2015, communities close by have worried about the bad smell, and neither the company behind the facility nor the local government have tested the air emissions for toxic pollutants. In November 2024, a local organization, WALHI, started measuring the air quality near the plant to see what residents were really breathing in. Ogijo is a town in Ogun State that shares a boundary with Lagos. Throughout the years, it has developed as an industrial and residential hub. Along with this development, Ogijo has also become choked with a tire recycling facility run by Tech High Recycling Company. The plant runs in bursts, sometimes at odd hours during early mornings, raising serious concerns for nearby communities.
Hi, my name is John Edison Tubil. I am a volunteer for this air monitoring project here in Dumaguete City, the Philippines. We started this air monitoring project at around October 14th, 2024. Roughly from around this project with the team, with our volunteers from our monitors, and everyone involved in this project, that's around 41 people. The team is composed of 9 people. And from our volunteers, we even have around 4 students, we have 3 waste workers, and majority of all of our volunteers come from the community on where the pyrolysis is located, the incinerator is located. That's around 30 plus people. They own sari-sari stores, or they just stay at home, or they have, so they're just people in the community who are living in the community on a day-to-day basis.
Mayong buntag sa tanan, ako si Alwa Santos. Ani ako karon sa Kamanhak, Dumaguete City, Philippines. Ug karon October 14, 2024, mao kini ang unang pagsugod sa among air monitoring project. Ug diha ako karon sa Kamanhak, tungod diha diri ang nakabutang ang pyrolysis sa Kamanhak, ilalom sa Central MRF ng Dumaguete City. Kining air monitoring project namo diri sa amo manggod, aduna kami diri sa akong likod karon, makita ninyo ang tambak nga basura. Mao ko ni siya ang Central MRF sa Dumaguete City, na adya karon ang pyrolysis. Munang naa ang air monitoring karon diri tungod sa mao ko ni siya ang materials nga mo-adapt kini siya og hangin. Diri na mo makita nga limpyo ba ang among gipanglanghap nga hangin, og diri sa palibot, og maangayan ba nga diri guni siya dapat bang ibutang og og limpyo bagod ang iyang hangin pa og dili na.
Aku Jai, selaku volunteer pemantauan di Polres Abnowo. Di sini akan coba buat menjelaskan sebenarnya bagaimana sistem kerja dari alat air beam 3 ini. Sistem kerjanya cukup sederhana karena air beam 3 hanya cukup terhubung dengan jaringan Wi-Fi untuk kemudian dia bisa merekam seberapa besar polutan meter yang ada sekitar PLTS Abnowo. Untuk sistem kerja yang kami lakukan itu, kami sudah mulai pemantauan dari awal November dan akan berlangsung selama 49 hari ke depan. Selama 8 jam, air beam akan merekam sebenarnya seberapa besar polutan meter yang ada di lingkup PLTS Abnowo.
In Nigeria, Green Knowledge Foundation, a local environmental group, worked with 3 community members, an all-women trio working in a nearby market who were concerned about the relentless smoke that filled the air. Despite knowing the security risks, these women stepped up to lead the air quality monitoring, gathering data around the facility for over 26 days. To protect the volunteers, their identities have been kept hidden.
I live around here, Togijoye. I also have shop nearby my house here. This Tekai company, real company, tire company, they have been polluting everywhere here, especially in the morning, around 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. They will split out the smoke. I used to use this air monitoring to monitor the air quality around. I used to check it on my phone. Sometimes it will be red. At times it will be black. The smoke, this thing is just too much. It's too much. They are polluting everywhere. We have been dealing with this for the past 3 years. It's just too much.
Hi everyone, I'm Wayne Yokoti, the Clean Air Program Manager for GAIA Africa, Global Alliance for Incinerator Alternatives, and I'm based in Nigeria. We just conducted an air monitoring assessment in a community called Ogiju in Ogun State, Nigeria, just beside Lagos, close to Ikorodu, and where we monitor the air quality of that community using stationary air monitoring and also mobile air monitoring. And irrespective of these things, people of Ogiju still live in their community, drowning in air pollution. That is alarming. Imagine I had a conversation with a local of the community. He told me he got a job, he applied to join a company, he got a job, but then he failed the medical test. Why? They told him he's a smoker. This guy doesn't smoke, but then because he lives in Ogiju, everybody is tagged a smoker. Even a man told me that he took his daughter, a young daughter, to the hospital, and the doctor told him his daughter is a smoker.
The results of the air quality monitoring data confirmed the levels of pollution that residents in the 3 communities could already see, feel, and breathe. In all 3 sites, the measurements of particulate matter tracked far exceed the levels set by the World Health Organization in its air quality guidelines. All 3 communities are calling on their governments to enforce stricter environmental regulations and monitoring for polluting facilities, recognizing the responsibility to protect human health and the environment.
naata karon sa Kalablugan Bridge nga diya sa mo ni siya likod sa Central MRF nga naa diha gitambak ang basura, then ang iyahang duga sa basura ga paingon sa bridge dayon ang kaning bridge lapo sa ni paingon sa dagat sa Sibulan. Ang atong mga katawhan, ang ilang panginabuhi, pangisda, gakuha sila sa isda nga gasuyo pod sa likido nga gikan sa basura nga kini ato po siyang ginakaon. Matatabang ba kini kanato o magahatag ba kini sakit para kanato?
This is not MRF. Ingani siya, dam site ni siya. Ingana. O usapa, daghan kayong epekto sa mga panglawas, especially sa mga bata. Kung ang mga anak, wala na yung mga hunong ning mga ubo-ubo tungod aning pollution sa hangin. Dire, sa Kandaway, nga giingon nga MRF, nga di ay dam site. Unsaon nato kung especially kung mubaha na mga kalamidad, ang mga basura nato diri karon sa Kandaway, it will come back to us people here in Dumaguete.
Ako nag-ahwag sa mga katawhan labi na sa komunidad nga kami unta yung tabangan kay kami naning kamot nga masulbad ang problema diri sa Dumaguete City sa paagi sa air monitoring nga limpyo pa ba ang hanghangin nga atong matagamtam o labi na sa komunidad nga duol sa asa gibutang ang pyrolysis nga among obserbahan gyud nga kini makadaot ba kini ug among panawagan sa modalagan karon sa politiko nga kami ilang tabangan dili lang sa pagtabang ug dili ipatuman gyud ang pamalaod nga shutdown pyrolysis kay kining pyrolysis dili kini ka makatabang alang sa mga katawhan labi na sa komunidad ug sa environment.
Gihangyo sa tanan nga dili nato sunugon natong kaugmaon para sa mga sumusunod nga henerasyon.
Ko sa karon nga nidaog sa karong bag-ong administrasyon nga hinaot unta nga tagaan o pagtagad aning among basurahan diri sa Kandaway kay kitara tanan gihapon og dakong epekta sa atong mga kalusugan. And ako apong hangyo diri karon nga ihunong ang pagsunog kanang pyrolysis.
Nggak ada perubahan sebenarnya dalam diri saya, cuma kedepannya nanti saya cukup khawatir dengan kondisi masyarakat sekitar Benowo menanggapi udaranya seperti ini. Melihat hal yang seperti ini saya pikir pemerintah punya cukup tanggung jawab yang besar ya, karena PLTSA itu pun juga tanggung jawab dari pemerintah. Jadi kontrol terhadap kebersihan udara saya pikir juga tanggung jawab mereka.
Ini penting bagi pemerintah untuk kemudian mendorong agar area wilayah di sekitar PLTSA ini menjadi tempat yang kemudian tidak kumuh dan juga layak huni bagi warga, terutama soal bagaimana kualitas udara ini bisa tetap terjaga. Itu yang bisa saya berikan.
Government to come to our aid. Look at what we have been going through, what we are inhaling. Look at everywhere. To see people coming from that end is hard. Look at people are coming. They are even running because of the smoke. Look at everywhere. There's big smoke out. Look at what is going on here. This real company.
What surprised us about our findings in that research is that over 99% of the values exceed the WHO standard, and that is alarming, that is overwhelming, and that is something that we need to take action. We also find out that these companies that have those tire recycling facilities and steel recycling facilities, women and the children are more exposed to this level of air pollution in the community. And irrespective of these things, people of Ogijo still live in their community, drowning in air pollution.
People live around this area, people are still building houses in this area, and the new houses are springing up, and people are going to stay here, and these factories keep producing and polluting the air. So we wish something can be done so that people can breathe clean air. Clean air is everybody's right. It's a human right.
Communities like those in Dumaguete City, Surabaya, and Ogijo are choking on incinerator pollution. But it doesn't have to be this way. Over 500 cities around the world are addressing the root causes of the problem by transitioning to zero waste through policies or practices such as waste reduction, reuse and refill, better collection, and safe recycling. Multiple Global South countries have been refusing waste imports and putting fines on single-use products and packaging, while encouraging business models that put people's health first. Local leaders are shutting down incinerators and creating zero waste plans with communities most impacted by waste pollution. The results are undeniable. Cities have been able to reduce waste management costs, create more jobs with dignity, and make neighborhoods safer and more resilient. GAIA members WOW, GKF, and WALHI have shown that everyday people can do something. With tools like air quality monitors, we can shine a light on wrongdoing and fight for our loved ones to breathe clean air. It's time to stop the smokestack and go for zero waste.
It's simply the waste or the technology itself that was being transferred, but also a paradigm, right? It's a paradigm of overconsumption, which had the hallmarks of what you would consider a linear economy, right? Extract, produce, and then dispose. And incineration represented the fulmination of that paradigm.
You can talk about the military industrial complex, you can talk about the petrochemical industry, but it doesn't make any sense unless you bring it down to how people's lives are being impacted in the foods you eat, or in the way your body is being poisoned.
We knew that to be able to defeat, this juggernaut of proposals of deep-pocketed corporate interests and waste management companies, that we needed a united front. And that united front was GAIA.
What got the Iron Band Community Corporation to join GAIA is really being plugged into a network of organizers and resources on how we can continue to fight against our incinerator. Our incinerator is now 32 years old, and it is receiving over 60% of garbage that's being burned in our community. So we're really being sacrificed, our health, future generations' health, for incineration of trash. It was truly inspiring to meet people and groups that have been actually successful in doing that. So we really look to GAIA as a place where we can continue to strategize together.
We're doing the zero waste implementation in a very small scale. We were able to expand it through the exposure that GAIA gave us, to be able to reach out to more knowledge, to donors, to different groups doing it and getting connected. So we were able to scale up zero waste implementation. When we started doing zero waste implementation in Tanzania, the question that people would ask is, why is anyone calling this zero waste? There is no zero waste. Nowadays, nobody asks that question anymore. We have zero waste across the road, and we even have a UN Zero Waste Day.
A great memory that I have as just being part of the GAIA network has been actually meeting some of the organizers and communities throughout the country. So, for example, being on calls with Breathe Free Detroit has been incredible. All the resources, all the work that they're constantly doing as folks who have been able to shut down their incinerator. And I think about how we're really, truly connected by communities that are really, truly resilient and organized and for the same efforts of just fighting for clean air like anybody else.
the fact that governments of the world decided a few years ago that they needed a global treaty that addressed the full life cycle of plastics is, I think, one victory that GAIA should be proud of.
I see no objections. It is so decided.
I hope that the strength of GAIA eventually translates into the demise of the incineration industry. It will translate into people suddenly rediscovering common sense and community.
Happy anniversary, GAIA. Happy 25th.
We've seen 5 reasons why zero waste works. It creates It works in cities and communities around the world. It protects health and reduces climate pollution. It tackles plastic pollution at the source. And it is powered by people and communities. After 25 years of building this movement globally, one thing is clear. Now is the time to invest in zero waste. But we can't do it without you. What started out as a dream shared by a small few has grown into a reality across the globe over GAIA's 25 years. To date, over 500 cities have committed to zero waste, and over 122 million people are living in a zero waste city. This would not have been possible without the tireless dedication of our members. Now is the time to keep up that momentum and make 2026 the year of zero waste.